So I think we have the truth now. James Younger, a boy who has hit recent headlines because his mother wants to force him to transition, male to female, even as a child, and put him on hormone blockers, against the wishes of his father, who says that James, this young kid, he's not trans, and that the mom is forcing him and brainwashing him, especially with this news. I think it's definitive now. Here on Twitter we see Jack Fosbiek posts, 7-year-old James Younger, whose mom tried to transition him, chooses to attend school as a boy. So if what his mom was saying was true, and I believe she has Munchausen's by proxy, that is a disease where you push fake diseases on your children so that you can feel special, so that you can feel virtuous and woke, and so that you can get attention. So this young boy's being abused by his mother. Most likely, I think you're going to agree after you see what I have to show you. Now, I was going to cover this earlier, but unfortunately, I had to deal with school. But I'm here now, and I'm probably going to schedule this for the morning. But I'm here now. And what I have to show you is truly disturbing. So recently, the father won in the courts, and he managed to get a judge to decide that he gets equal custody and equal say in medical decisions. Although it's not a full win, he doesn't have full custody and full rights. He's got a lot more rights than he had, and now James is displaying normal behavior. He chose to go to school as a boy. Now, why do I think he's being abused? It's very simple. I want you to watch this clip. And a warning to you, it is disturbing. It shows that this little boy is most likely being abused by his mother, who should not have custody at all. And you know the worst part? She's a physician. I honestly think she belongs in jail.
I'm a girl.
Who told you you were a girl?
Mommy.
When did she tell you you were a girl?
'Cause I love girls.
Oh, I see. So mommy told you you were a girl?
Uh-huh.
Does mommy do anything else like with a girl with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Like kisses.
What does she do?
She do put them on me.
She puts dresses on you?
She paints my nails.
Why does she do that?
'Cause I love like nail polish.
Oh. So mommy puts you in a dress and puts nail polish on you?
Mm-hmm.
And what does mommy tell you?
She tells me I'm a girl.
So it's clear that this is an act of abuse, because I want to make something very clear. What did this boy say? What did he say to his father? He said, "Mom tells me I'm a girl." And then he asks, why? And then he says, "Because I love girls." Think about that statement. He's a young boy. Of course he loves girls. Boys like girls. That is the nature of things. They like girls. So if this boy likes girls, that doesn't mean he is a girl. It means he likes girls like a normal young boy. A boy who chooses to go to school as a boy. He's being brainwashed by the mother. This is abuse. I called it weeks ago. I came across this story a long time ago. The father's been fighting for a long time. Save James. That was the campaign. I believe I covered it at one point. I believe that this boy's mother has Munchausen's by proxy and that he's being abused. And thank God for the court partial reversal, because now this boy, his whole life could be saved. Imagine if his crazy mother, who's suffering from Munchausen's obviously by proxy, put him on hormones, destroyed his body, ruined his life. I believe this is a normal young boy. Not only that, studies have shown that the vast majority of young children or young teens with gender dysphoria eventually recover. A vast majority. So imagine permanently altering their bodies without even giving them a chance to, be normal. But I don't even think this kid was trans. I don't believe it. I think his mom is crazy. So, I have my comment here and on Twitter. It's very obvious at this point that this young boy is being abused by his mother. The broccoli says his mom should be transitioned into a psych ward. How about transitioned into a jail? So someone else points out the obvious. Elaine B says, Munchausen by proxy to a different degree, but child abuse nonetheless. So here Shiver JD says something very interesting. This story is heartbreaking at many levels. I trusted this mother as my children's pediatrician for 20 years. So this is someone who actually sent their children to as a doctor, as a pediatrician, as a doctor for children. They trusted her. And this woman has Munchausen. She's mentally ill. She literally tried to destroy this young boy's life, probably because, I don't know, either she's crazy or she's mad that she didn't have a daughter. How sick. How sick in the head. This is why I do not believe that women should get custody all the time. Custody should go to those who are able to care for the child and who clearly are not crazy. Christ MCD says, I had a physician I thought was good. After about 6 years, the office started to fall apart. Lose test results, etc. After 10 years, she got married, dyed her beautiful black hair blonde, and shortly after was arrested for fraud. You could see the gradual slide. So, Eco3 says, so glad his father won through the courts to have a substantial say in his life. If she's truly desperate for a girl, adopt one. So this man's been fighting. He's been fighting hard. And my heart goes out to him. You know, I don't have a lot of heart to spare. But by God, this man, he has my full support. So Robert Tucker says the obvious. This kid's mom needs to be committed for psychiatric evaluation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's child abuse. I mean, everyone's calling it. Once the public heard, you know, there was pushback. And I think that's what made the judge partially reverse his decision, and thank God, because the internet probably saved a life. Anyone who was involved probably saved this young boy's life. And it's not over yet. It's not over by far. The mom's insane. But I think this is a good sign and definite proof that he's being abused. Maybe the courts will look at this and understand what's going on. This woman, his mother should not be allowed anywhere near children. So a 7-year-old whose mom tried to transition him chooses to attend school as a boy. Quite clear he's being abused because his mom told him he's a girl because he likes girls. Young boys like girls. When I was a young boy, I liked girls. It's so horrific that mentally ill people are allowed to be doctors and allowed to, they're allowed to do stuff. There's no there's nothing. There's no regulation. Now I understand we can't just strip away, you know, anyone who suffers from a mental illness. Like, we can't do that. We can't strip away their post. But if someone displays severe mental harm to others, like Munchausen's by proxy, I think their licenses need to get revoked. I think they shouldn't have custody. So 7-year-old James Younger, whose mother enrolled him in kindergarten as a girl. So yeah, this is abuse, has finally been able to attend school as a boy for the first time. James' parents' fight over whether he should be submitted to a gender transition garnered national attention after LifeSite News and the Texan reported on the trial. Now, I reported on this a long time ago, and so did a few others. I don't want them to forget that, okay? It took a long time, but I'm glad at least that it broke through to the mainstream. It hit the tipping point. And this is the cascade. So Mr. Jeffrey Younger was fighting to prevent his ex-wife. And yeah, nothing like an ex-wife's scorn. That is also why divorce laws are unfair. They need to be fixed. Women need to stop getting all of these goodies from divorce. They need to stop. It's not fair. It's unfair. It favors a woman 9 times out of 10. So Dr. Anna George-Gulis from transitioning James into Luna. Sick woman. So the custody battle over James and his twin Jude sparked public outcry. Texas Governor Greg Abbott called for an investigation into the situation, as did other conservative leaders. So you can thank the conservatives for protecting this. There's always critics out there that say, what are the conservatives conserving? I believe they're talking about neocons, neoconservatives, and cuckservatives who aren't real conservatives. But real conservatives, they just conserved this young boy's life potentially. Because the court judge would never have changed their mind without the public outcry. So now the father has visitation rights, he has increased time with the boys, he has medical authority, so he can say, no, I don't want this to happen to my child. So this is a good example of the law potentially actually doing the right thing for once. His mother, Dr. George-Gulis, had complete authority over his psychological and psychiatric care for both of the boys, and I believe this allowed her to do great harm. Not only that, James Younger had a gag order on him. He wasn't allowed to talk about this, but thank God he did. He started the website savejames.com. You can still visit, I believe. Oh my God, no, they took it down. See, Judge Cooks, this is the judge responsible for the previous order. Judge Cooks, evil person, should be fired, should be disbarred. No more judgery for you. You know, if I ran a country, this shit wouldn't fly. I would never allow it. Ever. Supporters have created a new website. sjsavethousands.com. So that's a new website. So this is good. This is really good. You know, they're attacking children. It's just not good. I don't think children. First of all, if you haven't hit puberty, you have no idea what your sexuality is. Period. That's impossible. It's literally impossible. And anyone who says otherwise, including those of trans persuasion, like, you don't know what your memories are. You don't, because I've studied memory. Okay, you create memories. Memories become different over time. There's no way to accurately say, oh yeah, I always believe this. You don't know that. You can't prove it for a fact. If you can't prove it for a fact, then it could not be true. Either way, a child, they're not allowed to do most things in life. They shouldn't be allowed to transition. It's just, it's medical harm. It violates the Hippocratic Oath. It really does. The whole concept of gender is different from sex is a lie. The scientist who invented it was a left-wing, insane person scientist. He was a mad scientist. And his so-called patients all ended up dead. Money was his last name. You can Google it. It's horrible, friends. It's horrible. So this is good news. This is really big news. The boy is choosing to go to school as a boy. I think the video completely exposes the mother. This boy has some hope yet. This is good. But you know what, my friends? That's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? What do you think about young James? What do you think about his father? What do you think about the mother? And what do you think about that judge? Cook. What a despicable human being. This is why I hate the left. This is why I can't stand leftists. And this is why I do not trust leftism. Because it's not right-wingers doing this. It's not. Every single time some clowny stuff happens in the world, it's always a liberal. It's always a left-winger. It's always a socialist. It's always a Democrat. Now, I understand. Some of my viewers, some of you are on the left. Look, I just ask you this. Why don't you just become a right-wing libertarian? Why do you want to be a liberal so bad? Idealism? Do you want to feel like you're doing the right thing? Or do you want to do the right thing? Do you care more about the principle, or do you care more about the results? See, I care about results. I care about what works. And if you want to go with what works, maybe you need to rethink your stance. I'm just saying. Let me know what you think. Everyone, let me know what you think. You know, I'm open to opposing views. I don't care who you... Like, I honestly don't care. You could be a liberal. You could be a conservative. You watch my content, you enjoy my content, I'm happy to have you. Absolutely. This is just my opinion. I think it bears discussion. I think it's a conversation we need to have, and I believe that's good. Now, if you want to support the content that I make, you can do so by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. Doing so will give you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server. There's also PayPal and Bitcoin options if you're interested. And sharing the video helps a lot because these days websites, they're just no longer promoting us. They're afraid of the truth. So if you want to help out the cause, if you want to spread more awareness, maybe share the video, post it on social media, share it with your friends. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.